Go ahead and call the Budget Committee to order. We do have forgot again. Is there anybody that would like to speak concerning an item on the agenda this evening? Yeah.
On the Ag Center resolution, the $750,000 coming from the Ag Fund, I understand.
Okay.
Now, it's also my understanding that the fair, Wilson County Promotions that does the fair, from their profits, they're supposed to put money back in to improve the Ag Center. Is that true?
That is, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm wondering, is it possible for them to use some of that money that they made on the fair to offset some of that $750,000? I'm just asking a question. I don't know if Aaron knows that question.
They stated in our meeting, no, Mr. Jones.
What's that?
I asked the same question in our meeting, and they had sort of told us they was gonna obligate some money towards the water line project. They said that they had been overrun on everything, and they didn't have it to put into it.
So they didn't make any money?
No, he didn't say that now. We're waiting.
Did they come up with an amount they're gonna give us per person?
No, but you talking about the maintenance fee?
Yeah.
No, he didn't give the number yet.
Is that a budget amendment? Is he talking about a budget
No,
amendment?
he is talking about one of the budget amendments.
All right.
It's the first one up.
We'll talk about that when we get to that.
Okay,
Then.
thank you.
Anybody else plan on talking? But I'm gonna let you talk whether you raise your hand or not.
Okay, this is a little bit later in the meeting, but on the, on the Thorn Economic Community Development Board pilot project, I just want to point out that their starting hourly pay is $22.13. You can go to the county and drive a school bus for 21 hours. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, we do have a minutes for August the 10th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, Aaron?
Finance report is in your packet. Fund balance report we've been promising, so that is there. Books are closed. Nothing in particular on the finance report that I need to point out. I would say, once again, kind of a broken record on this, just looking at AFT. AFT continues to lag substantially, just for everybody's general information. And then we'll go ahead into the budget amendments if y'all are ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first one there is for the Ag Center. We had a brief discussion on that just a second ago. This is taking money out of the Ag Center's fund balance. The $450,000 is to bring a water line from Peyton Road. I'm sure Tommy or the mayor can tell you where that water line is running to. And the second one, the $275,000, is to enclose a section of the marketplace building.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now discussion.
Two things I think I'll just add to this. I talked to Quentin today for a little while after my conversation with you. Reached out to the Water Authority about trying to figure out engineering to get it across through there. So I'm not for sure where we came up with the amounts, but I don't know that we got an estimate according to Quentin on
He
this.
gave us that as a maximum.
Okay, so hopefully that's a good answer, but I don't think anybody has done any preliminary work, no engineer on enclosing the marketplace or on this line itself. So, but we will have to have engineering specs done on both of those buildings in order because of the price of how much money we're spending per the auditor. And I talked to Quentin today, and we're working on that. I talked to Jerry Warren today about the building. So we're working. I knew when you asked me this, and I talked to him, and he didn't have an estimate. I know we approved this, and then we'll come back in a month or so and say, well, gosh, it's a lot more than that. What's the deal? We don't really have a good estimate. He may have that in his mind.
That's the way he presented it to the committee, was
I got you.
that he thought it would certainly come in less than $450,000 for the water line.
So,
And he didn't say that on the marketplace building.
okay. And hopefully we're good. I just bringing that to what
What do we need to vote on the marketplace building right now, Rick?
I think you can vote on both of them if you want to do that, and just know that if it comes back a little bit more, that wasn't because
Well, the water line
somebody gouged
project
us
is
or
a
whatever.
must. We need the water line. We have to have it.
And I talked with Jerry today a little bit about that, and he's been trying to do an overall plan for us out there on the lines that we have now, so that when we bring something like that across, we're smart enough to say, okay, what do we really need here? You know, I talked to John Smith, the engineer there at Wastewater Authority, and he said, you know, a 4-inch line, and when I talked to Jerry, he said, hey, definitely no less than a 6 to kind of calculate with that. And he's still working on that, and I know we want to do this ASAP, but it would be good if we had all of those mechanics together before we actually did it. But I asked Jerry to hustle. Of course, I got him hustling on a lot of projects, and so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it's fine to do this. If it comes back more, I just kind of want everybody to know going in that this is not a solid price, it's not a bid price. That's all I'm asking, or all I'm saying.
Can you approve, asking a legitimate question, I mean, can you approve it pending the development of this plan specs by the engineer and codes for enclosing the building?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you could say, make a motion to approve it based on that we have an engineer to design both projects and put it out to bid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to happen.
Well, that's the way we'll word it then, Mike.
I'll second it.
What are we doing?
Make a motion to approve this based on getting engineer specs and bid it out project.
Hey, we do have a
What do you want to
It's,
put?
we have to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have some spots that maybe don't do it like that.
What do you want to put a maximum on the water line as 450, and then if we don't we come back?
Well, it's what we would have to do.
'Cause that's
if-
the way Quentin presented it
Yeah.
to
Have
us.
to.
If they came back and told us, if you took the engineering cost plus the cost of actually installing the line, and let's say that came up to
Well, that's what I
$600,000,
meant.
we'd have to come back and say, you gave us $450, we need another $150,000 if y'all will give it to us.
Well, let's make it at $450,000 maximum, and if the engineering comes back showing it's gonna cost more than that, we'll have to discuss it.
Whenever it's my turn, I got a question.
Do you have something?
I do. I was gonna add, I do know the Water Authority waived the $28,000, $30,000 tap fee, so, which is good.
Should we get an estimate on how much this costs before we even talk about putting money around?
Well, that was gonna be my question, but I'm assuming that we're approving it as maximum, but if there's more, but if it's gonna cost more, they gotta come back to budget.
Exactly. I mean, that's the way.
What I'm saying is, if I'm a water man and I know y'all got $750,000, I'm gonna say, well, it's gonna be about $725. I'm serious. I mean, like, looks like we ought to get estimates before we start saying, well, it's gonna cost this, or we're gonna fund it, but don't look like, it seems like we're dealing our hands before we're.
And I mean, outside them watching this meeting, they probably wouldn't know that, but that money is involved with everything too. That includes engineering fees and all that, so. the project- And then, of course, they're competing to get somebody. If you only had one bid, then I think you'd want to rebid that. But if you had 3 or 4 bids and they all was pretty close, I think that's what we look at to say, this is legit. I'm not bidding the number of cash you got, I'm actually bidding the project. But we do that a whole lot. We do the engineering, and then we come back and approve the money. We used to do it the other way, so we do
I
that.
get the engineering part, but we're saying this is gonna be the total cost of getting it done. We're hoping, right?
What we're saying, I think right here, Chad, is saying right now that we're willing to spend that much. That won't affect the bids because hopefully we'll get several bids when it's put out. And just like the jail project, if you just get one bid, that's reason enough for me to reject it and
I
start
just say
all
we're
over.
putting $750,000 right there, then people are gonna know we got that much. I don't know, but anyway, that's just my thought.
I got it, and we said that before. And it doesn't, I mean, either way it goes, the project, we're going to go through the due diligence of doing the spec work, get it bid out, and then if it's more than this and we've got a lot, we'll have to come back to you. If you don't want to do it, you want to wait till we bring it back, I don't know that matters.
Can you word that motion where both of these projects. That's the maximum we're willing to spend right now.
Again?
And if we need to, we'll come back at that time and address it.
Well, you want to keep 725 there? Correct.
Okay, there is a motion and a second. We've had discussion. Does anybody else like to say something about it? Yes,
Can you clarify the motion, so we know what the motion is?
Our secretary's going to read it.
Motion to approve, subject to the engineering being done and bidding it out. A maximum of $450,000 on the water line, maximum $275,000 on the building.
Thank you.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
anything else? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
The next one is the Election Commission. They have been awarded a grant, no match required, to purchase a computer. It's just $2,403. That just shows the receipt of the grant funds and allows them to purchase the computer.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or concerns? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
The big one here on the library, the pay plan budgets part-time people, I think, at about 1,530 hours. That's what we developed the library's budget based on once we got the pay plan numbers in. Alicia budgets her part-time people on a lot less, so she asked us to bring it down to match her numbers after she was able to look at the pay plan. So this is basically an adjustment simply based on the number of hours that she plans to allow her people to work. It's putting money back into fund balance, so.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments?
I got one. I don't know that we've ever put money back in the fund balance. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna word that. But I'll come up with something. But y'all ever remember putting money back?
I think you've done it once or twice. It's not been often.
I'm not worried.
I don't remember.
But this is what, these figures at the bottom are going back into the general fund balance.
The bottom one, the bottom figure of $235,795 is going back into fund balance.
And the rest of it is line item transfer.
Well, it's actually, yeah, I mean, in some cases, there's a few increases, but in most cases, it is moving money away from out of lines, yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
But not this specifically, but the library board has been working toward fixing up the water tower. And they've been trying their best to figure out a way to do it out of their own money. And they're getting really, really close. You're getting almost done, but I don't think you're gonna make it. I think it's gonna be a little bit.
You fixing to ask for our money, aren't you?
Sometime. So I just wanna let you know, they may be coming back because the project's not done and, you know, construction is what it is. Can't hardly plan it. But at the end of the day, there may be a budget amendment request for $70,000 or $80,000 for this. So I just wanna let the budget. Don't get too excited.
We set aside how much during budget for? They got some money at budget, 50,000?
50,000, I think it was, maintenance.
Pretty much done with what they've had
Yeah.
back. But
Yeah.
it's hard to.
I knew we gave some, I just couldn't remember how much.
Won't kill us.
There a motion to, there is a motion
You have
to
a motion,
approve, and there's a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Tourism.
Tourism, they had a 5-year grant. The first year was $127,623. It's on the second page. The second year is $80,604. So the first part of that is recognizing year 2 of the grant, the $80,604, and they're spending that in advertising. The other $4,452 is allocating the balance of the grant from the prior year that they didn't spend. So basically, it's all the grant money.
Agree.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions? Comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
One for the Veterans Office for $3,800 to other contracted services coming out of their reserve account to to transfer funds for wall engravings, flags for the plaza, and a TV and cart for the museum.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
WEMA has come to us and asked us for some assistance, which we will be providing, but they have some new requirements that they're going to have to do some federal reporting on, and some of these requirements are not very clear. So they are requesting to take some already existing money that they have in the ambulance fund. This is the extra money we started getting 2 years or so ago from TennCare. They would like to take some of that money to hire a consultant to help with some of these areas where what is being asked for is pretty unclear, and I can vouch it's pretty unclear.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or concerns? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Next one, asking you to approve a lease of a copy machine for the probation office.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the lease agreement. Any questions? Yep.
There you go.
And like I always say, know what you're getting.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
And do you want to let Lisa go ahead and do her budget amendment ahead of the JECDB?
Sure. Lisa, go for it.
Just keep talking, you want to go over.
Our first one on it is we're moving money for, it's actually design fees, civil site design, a few other fees that have been added that we originally just moved 2.2 million over a couple of months ago for LaGuardo. This is extra money that's come up that we need to spend. So we're moving it out of our designated fund balance to 141, and then the second one is actually moving it to 177, our capital projects fund, to pay it out of there for those fees.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We're going to take these one at a time.
No, it's all in one budget amendment.
Okay.
Yeah. Who seconded it? Was it?
I did.
Okay.
It's
It's just
gotten
one
completely
amendment.
through, but
No, there's,
there's like 6 there.
So we'll just wait to hear all
Right.
of them, then we'll,
yeah, let's,
that's fine.
let her go through all of them.
Okay, there.
But she didn't do it the last week.
You don't count over here.
Next one, bus driver, where our supervisor, we increased his, when we hired him, to a supervisor pay, so that's moving that money. The next one is, we did not have a line item for maintenance equipment. We actually need to purchase a trailer. And so we're moving a trailer and then some other, I just increased it, maintenance equipment, in case they needed other equipment to be paid out of that. So we're moving out of supplies and materials into maintenance equipment. The next one is insurance recovery money we've received. We're showing that as a revenue line item, and then the expenditure line item that the repairs were made out of. And then the last one is our child nutrition. They are needing to purchase several vans and basically they're small SUVs. The ones they're using are old, and they're needing to replace those. They have money in their fund balance, so they're asking for that to be moved to purchase vehicles.
Tony, you still want to make the motion? Okay.
Second.
And
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, this will be subject to Board of Education approval tonight.
You're
for
correct.
Tonight.
We're
Okay.
meeting tonight for approval.
so subject to Board of Education approval, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And
Don't you think we might need them?
JECDB, who's doing
Need
that?
them, so they ought to stay here instead of come across the road.
That means he's got to stay here.
Oh, that's right. You can't go without him.
I go back and do all this stuff.
Good evening.
I'll get over here.
Hey,
Thank you for your time today. Corey Johns, Joint Economic Community Development Board, Wilson County. Appreciate your time and consideration. Also have Mr. Lee Downey, consultant working with the company on Project Eastbound. This has been a project our office has been working for quite some time. I shared with the JCDB Executive Committee this morning, regular meeting. I was originally supposed to pitch this company 90 minutes on the job on January 3rd, on day one. Due to travel schedules, that got bumped to the third day on the job. So, but we're here today after what's been a long process and a multi-state, very competitive search. They've informed us that they would like for Wilson County to be the new home of this company. So clearly, that early in, it was not my pitch. There. There still is some confidentiality at play on this. This is a food manufacturing company, so that's some great economic diversification. It's a sector we don't currently have a ton involved in, and so it's always great to have food right here in your community as well. In the health foods, company's got a really cool story. Health foods, a lot of granola-based products. Involved in a lot of brands you would probably recognize, and there's some other Tennessee-based company connections as well. So in all, we're looking at, there's an existing facility on Eastgate Boulevard. That's the facility they're looking to go into. That property's already on the tax rolls. We're not going to be asking to abate any taxes that are currently being paid. We're just asking for a temporary abatement of new taxes that come with improvements to the property in the form of almost $80 million. And the creation of about 220 jobs, 219 jobs, paying about wages of at least $22.13 an hour plus benefits. My suspicion is it'll be a little bit higher once they actually get in here and get to ramping up. So with that, we're asking for a 3-year abatement term on the improved value of the property and the personal property, which is pretty substantial with the processes that we have there, and that would total just a little over $1 million total abatement over that 3-year period, and they would continue to pay, in addition to the existing taxes, about $94,000 over the term, and the 10% increment on the personal property taxes. So happy to entertain any questions. Before I do, I'd like to recognize Mr. Lee Downey, who's the company consultant, worked on the project. He's come in to be here today to help address with any questions you have, and it's been a pleasure to work with Lee. And I'll say this is a fine company. They're good folks. They're currently in one of those markets that's not quite so business friendly, and so they want to be here for all the right reasons. And there is a potential expansion and potential headquarters relocation. So we could see some C-suite activity located in the county as they get here and learn more intimately about what Wilson County is about and fall in love with us like all of our other employers do. So appreciate your favorable consideration for this request. Any questions for myself or Mr. Downey?
How long is the lease term?
Lee, would you like to address?
It's a long-term lease. I believe, and we're still working through the mechanics of it, but the hope is it's a 15-year lease.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, just a long term.
I can't say exactly what it will be, but that's what it is.
Okay, so a 3-year abatement on a 15-year?
Less than 10, but
Is there a motion to approve?
I'm question.
Wait a minute. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does the company have any aviation assets that would go to the local airport at all? Otherwise, do they have an executive jet in their business? Do you know? Okay.
My dog one now, Joe.
When they've been in, they've flown commercial to my knowledge, right?
Okay.
That's, if they've been in on private jet, I've probably met with them 30 minutes in on it.
You got one you want to sell?
They trying to park
He's trying to rent a spot, can't you see?
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I just want to come right out and say it, I'm going to vote against this, and strictly for the reason I keep sending the message that if we're going to give abatements for taxes, we need to create jobs that people can make enough money to live in this county. You
Okay.
can't live in this county for $22 an hour. You can't go buy a home here.
Yep.
And, so that's why I'm voting no. I just want everybody to understand what my reason for that is.
Sure, thank you for that. I would like to discuss, understand what you think that number should be. What's pretty well common in economic development practice in Tennessee, what we look at is we look at county median wage, right? We don't look at average, because every time a country music star or a Titans player or Predators player moves in and out of county, that skews average wage. So we look at median wage. Today, that's about, and that's changing, right? Data lags, right? But right now, that's about $42,000 a year is our county median wage. These salaries come out, and like I said, I think these wages, I suspect that they'll actually be a little higher just with kind of the way market's moving when they get in and start looking for talent. This comes up to about $46,000 an hour plus benefit, or excuse me, $46,000 a year. Yeah, you're like, sign me up, right? $46,000 a year plus benefits. So that's how we evaluate the quality of the jobs when we define high quality. I understand that with, housing costs and everything pressures that there's.
Well, we can sit and debate it all night, but I
Sure.
just wanted for people to understand why I'm voting no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd love to sidebar and understand where you think we should set that mark as you're evaluating future projects.
More the county employees, man.
Is there any other questions or comments? Okay, I understand that the executive committee approved the project, and we do have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Opposed.
You said aye.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Mayor, do you have anything that you'd like to share with us?
You want me to bring up what we talked about? AFT tonight? Gotcha. I do need to see Commissioner Hobbs and Commissioner Evans and Commissioner Jones after this meeting, if I could. And then on that, you talked about the library. You'll come back to me and let me know what you need extra. You've got the money for design. That's been done, and the bid's out, and you've got a lot of money to take care of that, but not enough, is what you were saying.
Yeah, and it may not be that much.
Okay.
Talking about less than 10 grand.
Okay, yeah.
They're kind of sweating over there.
Okay, yeah.
Barely get there yet.
Okay, I was trying to get in my mind, because I knew we appropriated some, but I couldn't remember what we were talking about, so that's good. Yep, that's really, I do have this, which I thought was decent to pass out tonight. I don't have enough for everybody, because we got 18 commissioners here, I think. But this sheet here just shows you what the sales tax revenues are since 2019. And you're going to see 4 circles on there, so that's 4 months that it didn't increase from the previous month, the same time last year, which I think is a good indication of kind of where our economy has been going here. So I'm just going to pass that around. You can have that, and I'll keep it one. And that's really all I got.
Okay.
Unless I'm supposed to have something else.
Mayor, Finance Director, I got it in my mind we're forgetting something, but I can't think what it is. Y'all got any idea, or if I'm just going crazy? I know you got that idea.
Other than that,
Yeah, you get plenty of votes on that. I'm just hoping we're not forgetting something. I don't know what it is.
I
just got that
can't
feeling.
think of anything that happens usually in September, there is contracts for insurance, but those are still being worked on. We've extended those to November.
Okay, that may be what I'm thinking about, I don't know. I know September's a big election month. We normally don't have a lot of resolutions, but we normally don't have a lot in August, even with 28 last time. So, yeah. Okay, I just, now I got help if we've forgotten something, y'all in the same boat I am.
We had the bond rating call, that's not done yet, so I
No.
don't know.
No, I don't know of anything.
I'm okay with it. I got company now. We go down Flaming, they go with.
Is there anything else that may need to be discussed in the Budget Committee meeting? Motion?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
A motion, a second. Thank y'all.